Hello. So I tried to go to bed and I was just laying there and all I could hear in my mind is answer the call, answer the call. So I'm answering the motherfucking call. If whoever needs this, I'm gonna pull some of my angel cards out. Um that's one thing when you open the door to spirit and start answering the call to give messages to people that they need to know. You gotta answer the motherfucking call when the spirit calls you. So spirit for the highest and greatest good. What are the? I'll just ask for the advice that's needed or any of the messages that need to come out for whoever needs this. They're always falling on the floor. Maybe I'll just do it over here. I hope everyone's having a good night though, and whoever watches this, I really pray for you and I hope good things come your way because we are all deserving of a great life, and just believe in yourself that things can turn around and become great. You know, we're in some dark days and I know that people are just dealing with a lot of stuff, and I just pray for people that they have some peace of mind in their life. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Someone here is very intuitive. It's saying, like, trust your intuition. Ooh. Alright. And usually... Okay. So this one said, reflection. So when you allow time for reflection, you allow yourself to see where the inner shifts are needed. It is time for you to look at your beliefs and ask, is this serving me, or is it time for me to release this? Reflect, refocus, and readjust. So maybe you need a time of like readjustment. It's like a readjustment period with guidance, and you have the full support of the divine currently. Your life is moving in the right direction and the start of a new beginning. So there's a lot of new beginnings that have been coming up in a lot of my readings. Within you are shadows of dark and beams of light. The divine is reminding you to embrace the duality that is your individual sparks. I feel like some of us demonize kind of like the darker sides of our soul. But in order to reach like our full potential, our full light, we kind of need to go through the shadow work process and looking at the not so favorable parts of ourselves in order to kind of step into our true power, our true path, and our true like light and love within ourselves. And I used to be like toxic positivity. Now I just say it how the fuck it is because I know I need to. But you can't just be toxically positive and expect that to work out for you until you've unraveled the things deep within you that are stopping you from actually you feeling good within yourself. Because you can't just be like, oh, I feel great, you know, and like affirmations are great, but you have to actually embody and integrate those feelings within yourself in order to move forward with those things, right? Like, you can't just be like, oh, I feel good if you feel like shit. You can be like, I love myself if you have never even started the journey onto self-love, right? Like, there's a lot of work that goes into these things. There's a lot of work that goes into, like, loving yourself, becoming the best version of yourself. And we really have to trudge through the motherfucking mud to get to where we're meant to be. You know, like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but it can also be the most fulfilling fucking life you've ever had if you're willing to do the work, basically. I don't really know who needs this, but for the highest and greatest good of the collective, who this reaches, and I hope that this reaches where it needs to reach, because I was laying in bed and it's answer the call. So I'm answering the call for whoever needs a message. Okay, for the highest and greatest good to all and the harm of none. Deep love, mother's milk, birth is a portal. So once again, a portal to new beginnings, taking baby steps. I'll kind of read these after. All paths lead home. Breathe flame. Ooh. I'm going to try. I've seen this girl doing it. I can't even do it with my left hand. I'm not left-handed. Oh, shit. Okay. For the highest and greatest good spirit, please give me the cards that are needed. Alright. So, I'll start here. So, deep love, mother's milk, and birth is a portal. So this is a new beginning. There's a lot of like ancient wisdom. You may be a person that has like deep connection to old souls. Ancient, like Egyptian type things, because it says we the Hathors, which is like an ancient Egyptian family, I do believe, or like Galactic Federation type things. So like birth is a portal. So like starting new beginnings is like birthing a new idea, birthing a new creation. Maybe this is a time for you to start creating new things that you love. Starting a new adventure with baby steps. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. So if you've been kind of pulled in a direction deeply, go for it. Don't let your mind fuck with you. You know, if you like your inner guidance, your inner feeling is really telling you to do something, there's a reason why it's doing that. Like, this is not our first time on this planet. You know, when we come here, we sign contracts and then we live the life we live to like kind of make us the best version of ourselves when we are able to view everything kind of as like a lesson or an assignment in this life, basically. But take the baby steps, because like there's a lot of portals. The portals into your new beginnings, portals into your new life when you're willing to actually see and be guided into the places that you're meant to be. All paths lead home. So regardless of if you're in like the darkness or the light, like there's the yin and the yang and the yang and the yin and the yin, but that just means the physical body and the spirit. So we are a physical body with a spirit, and then there's a part of our soul in our body. So that's kind of like the physical, I don't know, it's a very metaphysical thing, but turn your gaze within to really see where you want to be guided. And sometimes we need to take moments of reflections in our inner selves in order to kind of think forwardly in order to where we want to go. And like we're allowed to enjoy our inner oasis. We treat our bodies like a temple and everything comes to fruition kind of thing. So the next card is the blue flame. So maybe you're awakening. Maybe you're having a spiritual awakening and you don't really know what that entails. And you're more curious of new things, and you know, things in this world aren't making as much sense, and you're seeing kind of past the veil of illusion, because the blue flame, it's like more of like a purpley blue third eye, seeing past the veil of illusion of the things in this world. Once again, another portal. So like that is a way to look into the places that you are meant to be. Yeah, it's time to integrate the things that you know you need to. So maybe you've been on a healing journey, and now it's time to really integrate the things that you have learned in your like recent past and your whole life, and kind of reflecting on how that has affected you and how you can maneuver and pivot accordingly in the present moment to reach your highest state, reach your highest goals. Because everything is, in the end of the day, is kind of like a lesson. Like we're in like a soul school per se, right? So when we do that, we're able to kind of like integrate like our past lives into our bodies and stuff like that. Because there could be certain cycles from a past life that are kind of bleeding into the current dimension if we haven't done the inner work to kind of be mindful or being able to see those things. Which will bring you harmony and balance. There's a lot of portals here. Like, go into the portal within yourself and see kind of, if you are kind of feeling friction or resistance in certain areas of your life, go inside your body and ask what the first, when did my soul feel this feeling first? Where did this come from? Because our body will speak to us. There's living cells in each, like every little atom within us that creates this physical body of ours is its own little living entity, and there's so much universe or like information within our own body that we haven't really learned to tap into. We're always external, but I feel like a lot of us are starting to realize that it is internal. We need to work on the internal to see any type of like effect on the outside world. Because if we see things from like, say the rose-colored glasses, you know, and like you're in love with someone, you have the rose-colored glasses, and something happens and they fall right off. Right, it's kind of like the same kind of thing with ourselves, right? And just realizing like this life, like we take it so seriously, you know, like none of it really matters, and we're all God's children, really just walking each other home at the end of the day, you know? So it's like when you see something in someone else that you don't like, why? What is it triggering in you? What is making you feel that way? Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own being. And if some things are triggering us, it's like almost like the smoke and mirrors. And sometimes we see things in other people that we're like, oh my God, like I don't like that. But it's because we don't like certain parts of ourselves, and really just coming to terms with those things and being more accepting, loving, caring, and compassionate for those around us. Because and especially in these times where the world is in need for more love in this world. So we have to really find that inside for us to be able to shine that light outwards. And like most of these cards are really showing me too, like they're all portals that are very like intense and bright, and being able to speak your truth and connect with people who are like maybe on the same path, and like taking away the people who are kind of just like hateful. Maybe that's something, because that's been coming up in readings too lately. But I'll take out some more of these angel whisper cards here in a second here. Spirit for the highest and greatest good. What is some more insight on these cards that I just pulled of the Starseed Oracle? Is there any more that I need? Let's see. These two. So clarity and creativity. I said before, like connecting with creativity and clarity. So as the storm passes, the clarity is felt faster than lightning. So maybe you're coming to clarity in some type of situation in your life, right? So clarity is felt faster than lightning seen against a dark sky. The divine is reminding you that clarity is readily available just by asking yourself. You can literally just ask yourself and you will become clear on the things that you need to know to actually embody like the highest version of yourself. And it is available to every single human being in this world if you are willing to do the work to look inside to see like what are the blockages that's causing these weird outside manifestations, right? All you have to do is ask. You have weathered the storm and the sky is clearing. So maybe you've been going through a hard time, and just asking yourself, like ask the universe, like, what is my next best step in this world? Like, what do I need to just like focus on, right? Loving and reminding yourself that loving energy surrounds you. And trust in the clarity that you feel is the answer that you need. So really trusting in that inner divine compass that we are all born with. That we kind of get like programmed and conditioned to kind of forget about. Like that inner child in us kind of gets like blanked out. And that's where our most creativity comes from. And the next card is creativity. 1515 and 1313 also may be significant for you. Keep accessing the creative connection that you feel with the divine. The whisper speaks through your creative connection, allowing you to express the beauty that is within you and connect you to the love that is all around you. As well as a lot of us live in survival. So there's the root chakra, and then it goes to the sacral, which is like our sexual creativity type of thing. And then when you infuse your creativity, it allows all these upper energy centers to like open up to like a higher frequency and a higher dimension of being, basically. And just tell yourself, creativity is my birthright. As I express my creativity, I feel a beautiful flow of love and connection. So maybe you're dealing with not being able to connect to people or yourself, and just maybe just start like allowing yourself to make life your playground. Again, don't take it so seriously. Just enjoy the day-to-day living, because we all deserve to enjoy life. It's not just all about survival and doing what we need to do. Like, it's like eat, sleep, shit, repeat for a lot of us. And, you know, it's like when we connect to the things that are really like nurturing to our souls, and when we truly care for ourselves, I don't know, it just makes such a big difference. Oh, another card fell out. That's interesting. What's this one? Earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother slowed down in time and nature. So maybe you haven't been spending enough time outside. And I will suggest maybe go in nature and just like try to see the beauty in everything instead of the flaws. Because I find a lot of us, I even catch myself doing it sometimes, is like focusing on the like more negative side of things, when we are allowed to like shift where our attention goes. What we pay attention to is what we're spending our energy on, right? So that's kind of really important. That's a really friggin' important part. So there is the dove spirit. So be peace. So we can't go outside of ourselves to find peace. We have to go inside of us, and you know, we can be peace. We can embody that. And truth transcends illusion. So a dove or a dragonfly may be significant. 21 and 22. Numbers may also be significant. Spirit, is there any more for the highest and greatest good and to the harm of none? Know your worth. So maybe you're struggling with not really knowing your worth, man. And you really do need, like, you know, once you realize your worth, you realize the people who have been taking advantage of you and sucking your soul dry. You know? Number 54 may be of significance, or the number 9. The number 3, 4, 4, 4. Ooh. Let's see here. Okay, so horse spirit, freedom is yours. So at any moment, freedom can be yours. You just have to set yourself free from the prison in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Horse spirit, number 33, another 3, 3. But this one's beautiful. I love horses. They're also like very nurturing, and just maybe like start nurturing yourself. Do one thing a day that you can give yourself that self-love that you deserve. You may not feel like you deserve it, but you do. And I find like I even did it, like looking out at external things to give me love, and it just left me feeling more empty, right? And whereas we can give that to ourselves. And a fox spirit, think on your feet, and spirit has a plan. So, you know, don't be scared to go out of your comfort zone. And, you know, spirit is always divinely connecting us to the people, places, and things, but sometimes we shield ourselves from our own fears, because fear is one of the lowest, densest energies. And once we kind of break free from that fear within ourselves and with others, we can actually create like true connection, and we can bring heaven on earth. It's actually crazy. But slow and steady wins the race. And this is turtle spirit. So a turtle may also be significant for you. Or a koala. I love these cards. They're so cute. Is there any more for the highest and greatest good? I also might pick some affirmation cards. Hummingbird spirit. So hummingbird may also be significant for some of you. There's a lot coming out. There's always so many coming out. Cow spirit. The miracles are endless. So in life, miracles can truly be endless. And that's the cow spirit. And cows are actually like big old puppies, you know? Like, they're so cute. They're the cutest friggin' things. And Sandy, I love you. Thank you. You're a beautiful soul, too. Hummingbird spirit, be here now. So be present. Be present with yourself. And that are true. So you and somebody else can be living like in parallel with each other. And you may not agree with each other, but there's truth in everything, right? Like, to a certain extent, it is truth in all ways. Like, you know, you can be a villain in someone's story, and you can also be the superhero. And at the end of the day, we are multifaceted souls, so don't be scared of those things either. Like, we don't have to have a fear of, like, being liked or anything like that. Just live in your authentic truth, and the ones who kind of, like, resonate with your soul will be the ones who stay. And the ones who are not will go. Yeah, spirit for the highest and greatest good. Is there any more I need? Porcupine spirit. So time for a beginner mind. And peacock spirit. Oh, I love peacock spirit, man. Every time that comes out, it's always like flourishing and just lovely. And then the cat spirit. So very protective energies around you. Cat spirits, when they come out, it always, like ancient Egypt's a big thing that's been coming out for me lately. But time for a beginner mind and let it shine. So just like really letting yourself play in this beautiful playground of life that we live in. Right? We create so many like boundaries and these types of like blockages for ourselves, or put ourselves in these boxes because we're so used to certain things. But claim your independence in that. And, you know, just let yourself do the things you love. Like, we're adults. Like, do the things you love. Who's going to tell you no? Other than yourself at the end of the day, right? Let's see. Is there any more for the highest and greatest good and the harm of none? This one. And the wasp spirit. Sometimes life stings, which is true. And, you know, wasps can be a little bit aggressive sometimes. So maybe you're going through, like, dealing with a lot of aggression. Or some type of aggression. Or just, like, dealing with a sore area in life. And, you know, I really hope you're able to heal from that, because it does suck. But I also know at the end of the day, you will get through it. It's speeding up for you. So maybe this time of life sucking a little bit is going to be over. It's speeding up fast. Like, antelopes are fast as fuck, boy. You know? So, life is speeding up. Is there any more for the highest and greatest good and the harm to none? And just trust in the divine detour. Sometimes things in our life don't don't work out in the way that they're meant to, but they always work out the way that they are meant to. You know, like, they don't work out the way we want to, but they work out the way they are meant to. It's like the divinity within life. You know what I mean? So, let's see. Is there any more for the highest and greatest good and harm to none? Not in that one. I'm just going to pull one more out of my affirmations deck. 1 second here. I'm just in my pajamas. I wanted to go to bed so bad. But here we are. Answering the call of spirit. And dream the world into being, you know, because, you know, when we open our mind to the opportunities that might be around us, because a lot of us will, like, kind of be going through the world like this because we're so focused on one thing that we kind of forget the beauty around us, you know what I'm saying? So, like, just dream the world into being and don't shut down the things that you may have been praying for, because at the end of the day, we are all living in prayers that we once had prayed for and we may have forgotten about it. And just remembering the beauty of each and every moment in the living space that we're in, you know? Okay. Spirit for the highest and greatest good. Are there any informations that this collective needs to know for the highest and greatest good and to align them with their highest life, their highest dreams, and their highest goals? Okay, so abundance is a state of mind. So repeat to yourself, abundance is a state of mind, because it's not a state of being. We can have all the money in the world, but sometimes that is not fulfilling. We have to be happy inside to be happy with the external things around us. And then I am fulfilled by love, because love is the highest frequency of anything, actually. Fun fact also, with plants, you tell a plant you hate it every day, it'll die because of the water molecules in it. And they actually get, like, sharp and jagged and kills the water cells. And if you tell a plant you love it every day, it actually flourishes, thrives, and grows, like, a little bit faster. A Chinese doctor actually did a experiment with that. So imagine us being humans and the amount of water that we're made of. What happens when we tell ourselves that we hate ourselves? What happens when, you know, it hurts us, and that creates a self-deprecating, like, inner environment and ecosystem within ourselves. So give yourself a little bit of love. You deserve it. Give yourself a big fucking hug, because you deserve it. And tell yourself you're doing good, because you deserve it. And you probably made it through a lot of things that you never thought you would. Where there's a will, there's a way. So if you could will, you can basically will something into existence. I just read a part of the Bible that said, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. All you need is a tiny, like, if you know how big a mustard seed is, it's tiny, tiny. It's a tiny little baby, you know. And if you have the faith of a mustard seed and it can help you move mountains, imagine what you can do with a little bit of love, a little bit of grace, a little bit of an abundant mindset. Just know that, like, there's so much good things in this life, man. And, like, shifting your perspective, right? Shift your perspective into more abundance, you know. Feeling fear is a call for love. So maybe you've been feeling a little bit fearful about things in your life, whether it be a financial relationship, anything like that. And once you kind of drop that fear, you know, it helps you, I don't know, faith and fear cannot coexist. So you might as well list your blessings, you know? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, fear is such an overtaking, very powerful emotion. And we can be scared of everything, you know? But when we, I don't know, I've been, like, I pray and stuff, but, like, it's not for everybody. That's okay. Even talk to your ancestors or someone that you love. But just give it, like, you know, put your hands in the, like, soil. I guess when it's nicer out, if you have plants, like, you know, just, like, give all the bad things away, or just, like, write everything that you don't want to carry anymore on a piece of paper. Burn that shit. And it is one of the most releasing exercises, like, I've ever practiced in my life, and it just lets it go. And then you realize all the things that we let, like, go in our minds, it really wasn't that big, you know? And it is safe for you to shine. So maybe you're fearful of, like, letting yourself just be yourself, your authentic, beautiful human self. God, it made us perfectly as we are for a reason. We all have a purpose, right? It's even like back in the day when they had villages. Each and every person had a specific, like, skill set. And they wouldn't have a proper community if everyone was doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So, like, just really give yourself love in the skills and abilities that you do have. and realize that sometimes the things that we feel are weaknesses are actually our biggest strengths. Usually the things that our biggest traumas, our biggest experiences in life can actually shift us if we shift our perspective from being like this scared mindset into saying like, hey, I made it through that. And sometimes we can just help people with the story of like sharing that experience. Sometimes that is our gift. You know what I mean? So let yourself shine, because you're a beautiful fucking soul, man. And I lovingly accept myself. Say it out loud. I lovingly accept myself, because you deserve to be accepted. Other people may not accept you, but at the end of the day, we die alone. So we gotta accept ourselves, right? And relationships are assignments. I was literally talking about that earlier. So relationships are assignments. So instead of us like thinking that a relationship failed or anything, what did you learn from these things? What did you learn from the experiences from these people that you've had in your life? Because sometimes we hold on to it as like such like a hateful thing towards us or others, but what did you learn? What did you learn what to do, what not to do, and how to pivot differently? Or like improve on the ways that you did good, you know? Or just see the ways that you were there for people and other people were not there to like show up in the same way. It has nothing to do with you on how people treat you. It is what's inside of us. So imagine we are cups of water. There's water in this cup. This is also, imagine this is just like a human being. All right, whatever is in this cup, and when it spills out, so say you're these cards, this is another person, there's shitty water in here and it spills out. But then the person who's just these beautiful cards thinks that the shittiness is them. But at the end of the day, it's not. It is whatever that other person had inside of them that they want to spill out onto you. And it's not your responsibility for other people's shittiness. You know what I mean? Okay, for the highest and greatest good, is there any more affirmations to come out? Manifesting is my superpower. So we can manifest good things or bad things. So just really maybe tell yourself 3 things that you're grateful for in the day. You know, because when we start shifting, we always have like these 1,000 monkeys bouncing around in our brain. You know, so do you want them to be happy monkeys, or are those angry monkeys beating the shit out of each other? You know, so when we tell ourselves that we're grateful for certain things, it kind of like lessens the amount of shenanigans that goes on in our mind, and we don't beat ourselves up as bad, and we're able to just go through life with a little bit more gratitude. Like a little bit of gratitude goes a long way. Same with that little bit of mustard seed of faith can move mountains. A little bit of gratitude can completely change your life, and it gets easier and easier the more you practice it. It's like muscle movement or a workout. And let your inner fire warm you, not burn you. So your inner fire, like, let that be your power, you know? Don't let it destroy you, because we can either be very productive with that fire, or we can burn everything down. Alright, so is there any more cards for the highest and greatest good of all, and the harm to none? My breath connects to life. So maybe do a little bit of breathing, like, just bring it back. You know, like, because when we breathe, that's our actual connection to spirit. That's what keeps us alive. And when we mindfully breathe, there's a lot of different breathing exercises that you can do. And it just brings you back into, like, your body. And then, I don't know, it just helps slow you down a little bit. You know what I mean? And choose kindness. I know it's hard sometimes when we live in a world full of hate. But when you choose kindness, regardless of what you're going through, the darkest of days, and you can show kindness, that karmic return comes back. It's not like you want to be kind just so then you get like this payback, you know what I mean? But when you choose kindness, just like better things start entering your life slowly and surely. Like the things that are meant for you will come to you, and kindness is more of like the forefront of your mind, especially towards ourselves. You know, when we're kind to ourselves, and then we start seeing more and more beauty around us each and every day. Okay, and then I'll pull a couple more, and then I gotta go to bed here. I'm so tired. Okay, is there any more for the highest and greatest good and the harm to none? Yeah, it's so funny. It's just, if anyone's tuning in later, it's just like, answer the call. But, gotta love spirit sometimes, man. But I do what I gotta do, and I chose this choice of, work for a reason, because I've always had a gift with things like this, and I just hid it for myself. And your truth is your teacher. So when you really look at your truths in your life, that can teach you the biggest things. Like, how did you show up? Who have you been? And, because then that brings us, like, right back to our inner actual truths. Not these untruths that other motherfuckers try to put on us. That is not our burden, our cross to carry is other people's stuff. But a lot of other people will try to put their burdens on us and then try to blame us for their own stuff, which is not, that's not okay. You know, be accountable for your stuff. But, most people are good, and then nothing is inherently good or bad, but you know what I'm saying? I hope this resonates with you, and if it doesn't, leave it. Okay. And then there's these 4 cards. Alright, so see this from a higher perspective. So truth is my teacher, and see this from a higher perspective. I feel like those two kind of go hand in hand. So see your life from a higher perspective. Instead of getting caught in the chaos of what may be like drowning out your own truth right now, just like take a minute and really just realize, like, what is my truth? Ask yourself, what is my truth? You know, how have I shown up? How have I not shown up? And being like real honest with ourselves, because then those things, we don't have to be shameful about them. It gives us a chance to like have improvement in our lives. You know what I mean? And you are not alone. Even if like physically you are alone, there are so many spirit guides around us at all times. And each and every moment, we are never actually truly alone. And there's someone that we don't actually know. We may have made their day one day. They may remember a joke that you told them, or like the way that you treated them. And you may not, it might have been like a very short encounter, but you may have made somebody's day or stopped them from doing something crazy, you know what I mean? And we kind of forget like the impact that we have in the space around us sometimes, but you are never alone. And if you ever feel alone, I don't care. Give me a message. You ever having a hard day, give me a message, because I will always be there so unconditionally for anyone, because I don't want anyone to ever suffer through any darkness alone, because it's not an easy path. And we all need somebody to lean on sometimes, you know what I mean? And just from like an unconditional, like completely loving space, because I know I've been through it, and I did it alone, and it took me to some dark spaces, and I never want anyone to ever go through those things alone, because it's not a good time, right? So you were called here on a mission. Each and every one of us was called here on a mission to the earth. So once we kind of see everything from a higher perspective, when we feel alone and realize we're not actually alone, then we can kind of fully fulfill our purpose. When we give ourselves the love and the cherishing that we need. You know, we are all here for a purpose. And I even said, like, our trauma can be the portal. And then even in the other cards at the beginning, like, they're all portals. So, like, our trauma can be a portal to actually, like, healing ourselves and healing those around us, because we can come from a space of understanding at a full level. You know what I mean? And devotion unites me with the infinite. So maybe devoting some time to actually, like, going within yourself and just, like, really wrapping yourself up in, like, yourself and, like, healing yourself. Like, not in these negative sabotaging thought patterns, but, like, devotion to like yourself, devotion to connecting to the things that you love, devotion to connecting yourself to creativity and letting yourself like play in this lifetime, opening that inner child that maybe didn't get the love that it needed, didn't get the nurturing, the cherishing moments, the really feel good things, right? Because when we kind of remind ourselves about the things that we love, it can bring more of that in. Right? A lot of us kind of forgot where we came from, or the things that like we're happy, because like negative things have such a bigger impact. And like I seen a thing that wanting to get revenge and like stress is actually just as addictive as like any drug, or even getting drunk on liquor. Like it has the exact same effect on our nervous system, right? King of Swords. I'm just pulling a couple out of my tarot. I guess it's going to be a little bit longer than I thought, but that's okay. The Star. Okay, sweet. So it's like, oh, I love the Star card, man. So, you're going to be coming out of a time of isolation. That's what that one's telling me. You're no longer, you're coming into a space where you're no longer going to be turning your back on yourself. You've been through battle. You know, you've been through many friggin' battles. For whoever's watching this, like, you've been through a lot of fucking battles. And you've had to stand your ground, and it may have turned you a little cold for a while. You know, some of the things that we see in this life, it's hard to come back from. But just know, no matter what you've been through, you are still so loved. You are still so worthy of love, and your experiences do not define your future. Okay? And if anyone's struggling with that, I wrap you in love, and I pray for you. And I pray for everybody who feels like they have to turn cold to the world because of some of the less than favorable situations that they have been through, because it's, I don't know, there's some evil in this world that I cannot even explain, and I've seen it with my own eyes, and anyone who's experienced it, I give you my motherfucking heart, because it's not a fun time. Aw, that one's cute. So, like, there's gonna be a big win. You know, there's a lot of them coming out here. Yeah, I'm definitely coming out of a time of isolation, battles, coming out on top, feeling good, you know, connecting with people who enlighten you. The Chariot. I love these cards. These are way nicer than the ones that were coming out earlier, honestly. Earlier it was kind of like intense and real sad, actually, but, well, alright. Is there any more for the highest and greatest good? Now, you're coming out of a phase where you may have felt like a lot of people were stabbing you in the back. And I'm sorry for that. If that's what you've been feeling. The Sun. Yeah, so like coming out of battles with other individuals, you know, but there's new partnerships coming in, new friendships, new enlightening experiences. The Chariot, like standing on top of the world, you know, with a crown. You're crowning. There's crowns. You got the Star card, which is a huge, like a beautiful card, like nourishing your environment, yourself, pouring into yourself, accepting yourself. There's so much love and abundance in this, you know, like red birds, grounding yourself into love and truth is what that card shows me. The star, the sun, and the moon. So really just a full around beautiful experience coming through. Being able to connect to your emotions. Kind of like stepping into your power. You're like, the sun is like this one. So that's like your inner child. There's a baby, a little baby. So your inner baby's kind of like just having a good time, you know? And after like all of these other cards, the battles, feeling like you're left alone. And coming into like partnerships, you know, happiness, you know, great times. These people are super happy. You know, there's a lot of life in these cards. A lot of life, a lot of beauty. This card, one sec, I just dropped a whole bunch. Yeah, so after coming out of all these things and then starting a new... So, like, starting a new journey, the Fool card is the number one in the major arcana. So that means, like, after going through all of these things, it may have felt like a lot of burdens on your soul, but now you get to embrace life with a whole new mind. And even with the affirmation cards I pulled before, having a beginner's mind. So they kind of all coincide. The storms are behind you now. You know what I mean? Ace of Cups, new beginnings with fruition. Relationships, partnerships, abundance, in every single way, especially with yourself, your cup will be overflowing. Doves are very significant because I pulled out a dove in my spirit card oracle before. And if anyone's just tuning in, go back. Ace of Wands. So there's all new beginnings coming in. All of them. All of them. And you had to you had to walk away from the things that weren't serving you. Because this is him just walking away from everything. All of the empty cups. All of the things, leaving them empty. The little moon on here looks sad. You know, everything that was making you sad, you had to walk away from. And guess what? It may have been difficult, but now all of these new beginnings. New beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings. New beginnings. New beginnings. You know, there's so much good coming in. This is so much nicer than the reading I did earlier. I'm so grateful. I can tell when different people are tuning into different messages because the messages are always so different. So different. And you might be finding something that you really enjoy, that you're really wanting to do. Like this one's like working. Maybe, but it's like you may have been burdening yourself with work or maybe overthinking it. And now it's time to like see it from the higher perspective, zoom out a bit and see like where you really want to put your intention into, you know, because whatever we pay attention to, we're spending our energy on, and our energy is our most unrenewable, like our most needed energy, right? I forget what the phrase of that was, but, okay. Yeah, so you went through a death and rebirth, you know, a death and rebirth, because I just got the death card. So you went through a phase where everything had to end. You may not have understood it in the moment, but it needed to end. And now it's all new beginnings. Seriously. Every single card on here is new beginnings. Standing your ground. You felt, at one point you thought you had to be cold to the world because that's what the world showed you. And now that's not the case. You were coming out of heartbreak and betrayals to gain the motherfucking world. You cannot make this shit up. These are like all major arcana cards and new beginnings. So major arcana card. The sun, the moon, the world, the fool. With the Ace of Cups, the Star, and the Chariot. Like, this is such a fruitful beginning. This is so exciting. Whoever this is for, the collective that this is for, I'm actually really excited. And the Ten of Cups, are you fucking kidding me? You know? Ten of Cups is the most fulfilling motherfucking card you can get in the tarot deck, man. You're gonna be enjoying life on a whole new level. And that is so exciting. Oh, this reading just made my whole night. I'm so glad that I answered the call. That is so amazing, man. I love that a lot, actually. For who, like, I haven't had, like, I thought my reading before was powerful, but this one is so, like, such a delight to do, and I'm so grateful I got to deliver this for whoever needed this. Oh my God. And the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune's turning in your favor. Alright? Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor because you did leave the things that were not serving you in the behind you. You know? You had to leave it. And now you're smiling. You're smiling because you see all of the other versions or phases that you've had to go through created you to be who you are today. And now you get to carry your truth with you and move forward and become the strongest, most resilient motherfucking version of yourself. Oh my God. This is so much better than the reading earlier. I love that. Yeah. So you get to build yourself on a strong foundation. This is a time where you really get to just enjoy life. Start on a new foundation. You know, things don't feel like they're burning and like it's like everything's falling apart anymore. It's like everything is like gonna settle. Everything is settling. It's like after an explosion, the dust will settle. Or like I even said earlier, like when a forest burns down and then it's actually grows, the regrowth of it is so much more healthy. Like there's a lot of like health, wealth, abundance in all ways coming in. You're very heavily and divinely protected for whoever this is as well. Coming out of like deceit, lies, new beginnings. Yeah, you had to go, you did not have an easy travel to get to this spot. You had to go through a lot. You had to maybe do it alone, isolated, feeling isolated, you know, but you're never truly alone. Queen of Wands, what a magical card. She's holding a sunflower in her hand, very like full of life force. And a cat, so very protected. You know, there's cats all over that one. Cats are one of the biggest signs of like divine protection. Queen of Pentacles, very abundant, you know, financially, in relationships. You're going to be embracing life with like just like a happier state of mind. I don't know who this is. Whoever this reading is for, the collective here, is like making me real happy. You know. Because with the Page of Swords, it's like you've cut through all of the illusions in your life and you're ready to move forward with all of the things that you've learned. For the highest and greatest good spirit, is there any more? Temperance. The Lovers. Like, what the fuck, dog? These are like all the major arcana ones coming out. So you're gonna find love with yourself and with others around you. Temperance, pouring into your own cup once a motherfucking again. The angels are around you in all moments. Ace of Swords. You're starting learning how to communicate, becoming better, cutting through all the bullshit, and you get to step in it. More partnerships. Are you kidding me, dog? Oh my god, this reading is wild. If you're just tuning in, I definitely recommend watching the whole thing because it's actually so this reading, the one I did earlier today was actually quite sad, and this one is so enlightening, and I'm so grateful for whoever this reaches because it's some of the most powerful cards that I've seen. And a lot of the major arcana, all about good partnerships, relationships, all about loving yourself, all about coming from a beginner's mind and just knowing you're on a mission. Justice is out here. You're getting some justice for all the things you've been through, maybe. After all of the stormy waters, after all of the isolation, the fear, the distrust, the hate. Queen of Pentacles, so much abundance in mind, body, spirit, and soul. Everything around you is gonna bloom. A lot of good luck. You're gonna be grounding yourself. You're gonna feel more creative. You're gonna find love. You're gonna find all of these things. Releasing yourself from the shackles of the devil, which is actually addiction. So you're releasing yourself from these shackles of bad mindsets, bad habits. You're starting on a whole new path. Ace of Pentacles, you're going to be gifted with so many good things. This is actually so beautiful. I haven't had a really good reading like this in some time, so I'm very grateful that I get to give this message for whoever's watching because wow, that's actually beautiful. For Spirit, is there anywhere for the highest and greatest good and the harm of none? No, yeah. Riding away on your horse, basically, with all your abundance, going into this new beautiful chapter of your life, and you kind of just get to sit there and enjoy your work. All of these cards are upright. The other one I did earlier today, all the cards were upside down. So, you're really just going to be able to look back at everything you've been through and just be I made it this far. And you'll be proud of yourself, Be proud of the journey that you've had to come get to this place. Because it's important. It's important. The journey to get where we are is very important. And the Two of Wands, you're looking, the world is in your hand. Literally, the world is in your hand. And you get to just look out. And you might be getting a new home and you'll be able to look over a place you've always wanted to be able to. And just really enjoy it. Really bask in the love that you know you deserve. Embrace the love, even if you may feel like you don't deserve it or anything. Really just know that you are so loved. You are so worthy. And I pray that you really fall into the trust of the universe and allow yourself to receive all of these blessings because at the end of the day, you're motherfucking worth it. Hey, Sean, buddy, love you. I hope you're having a good night. I love you all, and I recommend going to the beginning of this once I finish because that was one of the most beautiful readings I've ever had. I almost have tears of gratitude, but I hope you all have a great night. And thank you for supporting. And I love you all. Thank you. Night.